Welcome back, fans, to the ECHL Insider. I am your host, Garrett Hunter, excited to recap another thrilling week of ECHL hockey with you and jump into what is another loaded top 5 games of the week. So let's start with the South Division. Why not? The Atlanta Gladiators and Jacksonville Icemen on Friday night, and things went all right for the home team down in Jacksonville. A 5-0 blowout of the Gladiators sent the home fans happy down there in Jacksonville, Florida. Jumping now to the Central Division, it was the Fort Wayne Comets Toledo Walleye matchup that we talked about a lot last week. And Fort Wayne went into downtown Toledo and showed who is right now currently the top team in the Central Division. And they showed the Walleye who's boss here in the early part of the season with a 5-1 blowout win on the road in Toledo. Just impressive from the Comets early, and they showed that on Friday night against the Walleye. And the Norfolk Admirals Adirondack game that went back and forth this weekend, culminating in a 4-3 OT winner for the home Adirondack Thunder. What a game that was. What a shot to win that game in overtime for Adirondack. Well, before we get to our top 5 games of the week, big ECHL news. As you see behind me, a picture of the Credit Union of Texas Event Center in Allen, Texas, and that has now been announced as the home of the 2026 ECHL Warrior All-Star Classic. So next season in January, Allen Americans will host the All-Star Classic. Exciting news for the Americans. Well, without further ado, let's hop into the top 5 games of the week. Really loaded docket. So we'll start at number 5 up in the north, where the Worcester Railers welcome the South Carolina Stingrays for 2 games on Wednesday and Friday. They have their school day game on Wednesday morning, and then Friday night also against the Stingrays. 2 really good teams, I think, here in the Eastern Conference that don't get to see each other a whole lot. So really excited to see how these 2 teams match up against each other in 2 games on Wednesday and Friday. And at number 4, the Florida Everblades and Orlando Solar Bears will do battle Monday night in the Kia Center. These 2 teams played this weekend, Friday and Saturday. On Friday, it was the Solar Bears with a 2-0 shutout in Estero, but the Everblades would come back on Saturday night with a 4-1 win over the Solar Bears. So the third out of 3 straight for these teams on Monday night should be really thrilling. And if you don't know yet, these 2 heated rivals, when they play 3 straight, that third game can kind of get a little bit chippy. So should be a very interesting game to check out on Monday night. And at number 3, the Kansas City Mavericks go to Wichita for a school day game on Wednesday for the Thunder. Thunder have been off to a great start. They've impressed a lot of people so far in that Mountain Division. But you can't forget about Kansas City. They've also played great, including with some wins in Rapid City last week. Really had to stick with it, down 3-2 on one of those games in the third period. Had a critical shootout to win, and they did so in the 4th round with a 4-3 shootout victory over the Rush. So really can't count this Kansas City team out, but those school day games, the children will be treated to a very high-quality game, I think, in Wichita between the Mavericks and Thunder on Wednesday morning. And at number 2, the Fort Wayne Comets and Wheeling Nailers. Yes, this is another school day game on Tuesday morning down in Wheeling, West Virginia. Really excited to see these 2 teams, former Central Division foes, but with the Wheeling Nailers moving to the north now, this is a non-conference game, so we're not going to see it as much. So very exciting game. I think Fort Wayne traveling and playing in the morning, maybe that rattles them a little bit, but Fort Wayne is a very good team, especially on the road so far this year. They will have a test, though, against this Wheeling team who's been great so far out of the gates in that North Division. And at number 1, our top game of the week, number 1 in the Central Division, Toledo Walleye right now against number 1 in the North Division, Norfolk Admirals, Friday and Saturday from the Scope. Doesn't get much better than this, right? A non-conference battle. Don't get to see these 2 teams play each other a lot, and Walleye and Admirals will go at it. They did play last year, a 3-game series up in the Huntington Center, and boy, was that a big game. They also had a fight of the week out of that series with backup goaltender Kristen Stead. Came off the bench to fight for the Admirals. Very heated 3-game set that was, so should be interesting, right? A lot of skill, but maybe some emotion will get carried over maybe in that second game of 2. But I don't know. I think it should be very interesting. I was surprised about how chippy this 2 teams got last year when they played 3 games. We'll see how it goes this year in Norfolk. Really excited. And something to note, we have pointed out several school day games this week. Maybe while you're on your lunch break this week, maybe tune into some ECHL hockey because there will be a lot of school day games to watch this week, pretty much every day of the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday especially. So a lot of fun hockey to watch now, day games and night games, especially this week. So hope you'll tune into that. Make sure to check out our fight of the week between Tahoe and Utah, dropping the gloves at center ice. Boy, was that a big scrap. Anthony Collins, I think, got the best of the Utah player there with some big punches thrown in that fight. So after you watch that, make sure to subscribe to our channel below if you haven't already, and we will see you next week for more ECHL content.
On trying to bat it away. Puck goes into the Grizzlies zone. Run down by Sure. We get a fight at center ice. Anthony Collins and Nick Pastores. They're swinging away. Pastores gets 4. 5 left. Now Collins swings and gets a few rights in. Anthony Collins. He gets a right on Pastores. Big time right by Collins. Pastores keeps his feet. Oh, another right by Collins. Now Collins gets a couple body shots. Now Collins with an uppercut. Pastores somehow keeps his feet. As now Pastores with an uppercut. Pastores keeping his balance. Boy, Anthony Collins just kept feeding one right after another. You got to credit Nick Pastores, the linesman, step in.